Good morning. It is a beautiful foggy morning here. You can see the ground garden in the back. And right now we're on the deck, and I wanted to introduce everyone to some of my morning glories and the various potted plants I have going. So let's do that. This is one of two ornamental planters that I'm trying to work on for the first time. There's been a lot of rain, so I lost a couple of things. But this here is a hollyhock, black. This one in the middle is actually a purple datura. And then this one is a cantaloupe. Those are the three main ones that I wanted to grow in here. And then this little guy is a butterfly bush. This is one of many planters with morning glories. So this has a moonflower and a pink. This has a pale blue. This has a white and a pink. This one is a Venetian number 2, which is a dark Venetian and a white. This is a pot of mixed flowers. That's kind of an experiment. Seems to be doing okay. I don't know what this guy in the middle is here because it was a mixed variety, but he's doing pretty well. This is a tomato plant, an okra plant, and a watermelon plant. These are seedlings that need to get transplanted. This is my new baby fig tree. Hopefully he does okay. These are Grandpa Ott morning glories. This pot is all white morning glories. This was my test pot that I put out before anything else to check for climate. These guys actually suffered quite horribly and have made an astonishing comeback. Very proud of them. These are some mustards that I'm starting. This is my lone pea. I generally I had not intended to put vegetables on the deck today, or this year, but it happened anyway, and that's okay. Here is another variation of pink. This is a cosmic morning glory. This is a 3-cotyledon pepper sprout. He hasn't done very much, but I thought he was cool. This is a yellow tomato, also shouldn't be here. This is a bell pepper, not supposed to be here, but I wasn't sure how the ground garden was doing, and I wanted to ensure that I got vegetables from these two plants and that one. So that's where that's at. This is a moonflower and Grandpa Ott's again. This is the second decorative planter, just like the first one. These are my potatoes in a bucket. I also have hay potatoes on the ground. These are 2 blueberry bushes. And this is a wild plant that's been growing up through my deck every year. I usually cut it down. It's about 8 or 9 feet to the ground. It's growing from the ground. You can actually see it coming up through the deck boards somewhere, probably over here. Where is it? Oh, nope, right there. Every year. And I cut it back, and it always comes back, so I figured I'll just let it go and see what it does. It is a thorny nightmare, but it's very pretty. These are my nasturtiums. I haven't seen any buds going on these, but I haven't really looked lately. I do not, in fact, see any buds yet, but they are very happy. This is a catch-all planter. This has some radishes in it, and another hollyhock or 2. Just a random smattering of things. What do we have here? These are basils. These are Mr. Stripey tomatoes and habanero peppers. This is a 3rd datura. These are coriander. That is still another moonflower all by itself. This is, in spite of what it looks and says it is, I guess we don't need these anymore. This is a single daikon radish that I wanted to plant by itself in its own pack, or its own pot, so that it could grow freely and see what it'll do. This one in the back here is leftover broccoli and sunflowers that never made it out to the yard. So They are certainly growing. I still hope to get some out. I don't think they're going to take the transplant. And we'll see how these brassicas do. But that's what I have going on so far in the deck garden. I'll probably do the updates with this as I do the updates for the rest of the garden. But no flowers yet, nothing really exciting, but everything seems to have taken root and is growing nicely, so I'm very excited about that. Now to the ground garden. So now I'm going to go over the plants in the ground garden. It's very humid and super foggy today. Yeah. So my hair is already flat and gross, but we're looking at plants, so it doesn't matter. Alrighty. So this is bed 1. This quarter, I guess, is polyculture. There's some tomatoes, some peppers, some bok choy, a squash. I probably will put the watermelon in there. I'm not sure. This is the corn on June 6th. This is the herb bed. I have some things going in there today. The dill is looking absolutely fine, which makes me so happy. These were supposed to be basil seeds, but there was some basil seeds and then mostly some kind of lettuce. So I don't know what's going on with that. And then there's rosemary and mint, which I know I should pot it, but I haven't. Alrighty, bed number 2. These here are radishes, daikon mostly. They have to be thinned. There's a squash here. These are the squashes that got the frostbite last Sunday. This one looks surprisingly good. This one grew an entirely new leaf already. I don't know how they're alive because there's barely anything for them to photosynthesize with. But I'm happy they're there. In the back row are some green and yellow zucchini and butternut squash and cucumbers. So that's them. All these little guys are survivors of the frost that were seedlings from inside. They are still very small. We'll see what happens with them. I'm very excited for those daikon radishes. Bed number 3 is tomatoes and peppers. These are the tomatoes. These were starts that I bought to replace some of the frost damage. And they're doing great. I even have a flower here. Hi, little flower. These two in the back are a family heirloom tomato. I have 3 of these going. These two did not transplant well and then had a frost, and they've just been having a very bad time. So they're perking up finally, which makes me very happy. And we have a spider house. These are 2 cucumbers that I just stuck over here in case there was a frost pattern that had something to do with bed number 1 or bed number 2. Let's see. These are mixed up brassicas. This is kind of an experimental area. I'm not even sure what most of this is. It's either Brussels sprouts, broccoli, or cabbage, and we'll see as they grow. This second row is all peppers, all the way to there. This row is all tomatoes. There is a single okra that has not grown an inch. I don't know why. And then a couple more tomato plants and yet another pepper. This is a shared bed, so from here out is my good friend Priscilla and Ray's plants, mostly cabbages over here. Oh, here is 2 little areas of salad greens. It was a seed disc. I have a couple of onions here. Bed number 5. Beans, peas, carrots, and radish. So, wow, we got some bug damage over here. Look at this leaf. Somebody ate that. Wow. Gonna have to look into this. I came out this morning and there's a ton of snails. Here, look, there's one right here right now. Just go into town. Let me get him off of there before he kills something. And look, here's lovely Mr. Slug. You're such a jerk. Get out of my garden. Here, look, more snails. More snails, more snails. And I just pick them off and throw them over the fence. And they'll be back. But hopefully not today. Wow, somebody really ate that leaf. I'm going to have to be more careful. I also have to trim down the grass around this area because you see they climb the grass to get in. And they eat everything. Alright, back to business. Peas are looking good. Beans are looking good. Beans are just about to start climbing in the back. I have Royal Burgundy coming up here that are new. Right there. And then these new sprouts over here are asparagus beans. And there's a whole bunch of carrots over here. And then I accidentally planted a row of radishes with seed tape. So we're just going to let them go and see what happens. They could be beets too. I'm not even sure. And then this is also a bed that belongs to my good friend. They have some bell peppers and eggplants, mostly on this one. And then she has a pear tree that I gave her, and a burgundy bean, which I will probably transplant into the bed for her very soon. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's, today is Saturday, the 6th, and everything looks great, except that one leaf on that one squash, but we'll fix that. This is the gardening table right now. I had to bring up all my morning glories. First, the frost killed many of them. And then I noticed that the snails were also getting in and eating them. So I've been picking them out. I picked them up off the ground last night, yesterday afternoon. And I cleaned out all the snails. And somehow there are still snails in here. I don't know if there was babies that I missed or what happened, but they have to go. So we're going to huck them over the fence. Look, there's another one. Where are they coming from? Huck. And you can see they just eat them down to just absolutely nothing. There's just little stubs here. Come on, focus. Everything's foggy because it's so humid out. Look, this leaf is just totally detached. Somebody just ate it off. Here's more stubs of morning glories, the little green spots. Yep, shorn right off. It's partial. Here, look, this guy's going to town right now. Oh, hey, I'm hungry, I guess. You must leave. Wing. They do have a nice soft landing place. If you haven't noticed, our grass is like 4 feet tall. So, there's plenty to eat out there. Anyway, that's about where I think we're at. The garden's doing great. And that is the grow log for this week. See you later. Peace out.